7,000 years is enough time for the memory of terror to erode, even in a galaxy as ancient as this one. Empires rise, fade, and are born again atop the ashes of the old. Technologies evolve until they seem like magic to the people who never saw their beginnings. Traditions dissolve. Legends become bedtime stories told by parents to children who giggle at the thought that such beings ever existed at all. And humans, once feared, respected, admired, avoided, slowly passed from fact into myth. The galaxy grew comfortable in their absence. It had been so long since anyone had last seen an emissary, soldier, trader, or traveler from Earth that no one was even sure the planet still existed. Records claimed the Sol system had been sealed behind a defensive barrier beyond comprehension, but over thousands of years, facts blurred into fiction, and fiction into exaggerated tales of the sleeping wolves of Sol, a cautionary story to children who misbehave too much yet. Like all stories with some kernel of truth buried beneath the sediment of centuries, the memory of humanity lingered in the quiet corners of civilization, the vast archives of the knowledge monks, the dusty databanks of ancient war fleets, the minds of species who lived long enough to remember the wars of their youths. They remembered what most had allowed themselves to forget. They remembered that humans never surrendered. They simply waited. But waiting is peaceful only when the universe cooperates. And the universe, as always, favored chaos. It began on a quiet morning on Elysium 9, a green moon orbiting a warm and gentle gas giant. The atmosphere shimmered with pastel colors. The forests breathed in the soft light. And nestled in the middle of a valley carved by rivers of silver-blue water sat an orphanage. Humble, old, and peaceful. It was not merely a home for children without families. It was a sanctuary for younglings of every species. A safe haven far from politics, empire, and warded in that quiet refuge lived 3 human children: Era, the eldest, with eyes like dusk over mountains; Lyra, who laughed like bells echoing through a cathedral; and Mara, the youngest, who rarely spoke but observed everything with an intensity that unsettled those who noticed. They were anomalies, these 3. Humans born in a galaxy where humans no longer walked. But they were children, nothing more. Or so the caretakers believed. Their days were filled with lessons, play, and gentle rituals inherited from the ancient Earth cultures the caretakers vaguely remembered. None of them knew how to pronounce the old names correctly. None of them understood the deeper meaning behind the stories they recited. But they told them anyway, passing them from generation to generation. Tales of a fierce but compassionate species who loved with the same ferocity with which they fought. Who built, who broke, who repaired, who stood. Who, once upon a time, defended the helpless even when the helpless were not their own. The children loved these stories. They believed them to be fun, nothing more. They had no idea they were the last embodiment of those stories. On the morning the galaxy changed, the children were gathered outside the orphanage, painting murals along the old stone wall. Lyra dipped her fingers into a bowl of color-shifting ink and smeared bright streaks across the gray surface. She giggled as the ink glowed like fireflies. "You're using too much," Era scolded without real irritation. "It's supposed to be pretty," Lyra protested. Mara didn't say anything. She was painting a spiral, intricate and sharp-edged. The pattern was unfamiliar to her, yet her hands moved as if remembering something she had forgotten lifetimes ago. The caretaker, an elderly Akari woman with moss-green skin and gentle eyes, stepped out to admire their work. "You 3 always bring life into the world," she said. Era smiled. "We are trying to make home beautiful." "You already have." "But beauty, peace, and safety are fragile things." High above Elysium 9, hidden behind the gentle veil of colors, an Imperial warship emerged from a warp corridor like a wound tearing through flesh. Its hull was black as void glass, its engines burning with oppressive red light. It did not broadcast identification. It did not request landing clearance. It simply hovered, silent and ominous. The caretaker squinted at the sky, her heart skipping a beat as instinct, old as a species, sank cold into her bones. She excused herself from the children and hurried inside. The alarms triggered seconds later. They screamed through the valley like the cries of dying stars. The children froze. The caretaker sprinted back out, her voice trembling, inside. All of you, run inside. The children obeyed. Era grabbed Lyra's hand. Mara followed silently, eyes fixed on the sky. The warship descended. Then it fired. The blast hit the orphanage field like the fist of a god, vaporizing the outer fence and sending debris in all directions. The ground trembled. The caretaker stumbled, throwing her body over the nearest cluster of frightened children. The Empire had not misfired. It had not mistaken its target. It had not made a strategic error that IT had come for the orphanage. And it intended to erase it. This was not war. This was annihilation. Within moments, the warship unleashed a second volley. Stone shattered. Walls collapsed. Windows exploded outward. Dust billowed through the air. The children screamed. Era dragged Lyra through the hallway as beams of energy cut through the ceiling. Move. Move. Mara stopped. She turned. And she stared at the falling beams as if she understood something deeper than terror. For a heartbeat, the hallway was swallowed in fire. When the dust began to settle, 3 small silhouettes remained, crouched behind a section of collapsed stone that seemed impossibly arranged, as if it had fallen in exactly the right shape to shield them. Mara stood in front of them, her palms pressed against the air as if pushing back the flames. Her eyes were glowing faintly. Era gasped. Mara, what did you? But there was no time to ask. A third blast shook the building. Outside, the caretaker stepped into the open, holding a white flag woven with the ancient symbol of sanctuary. Her voice cracked as she shouted, "Stop! These are children. This is a protected site under the Galactic Accord." A lance of light pierced her chest. She fell without sound. Her body dissolved into ash that scattered across the stone she had swept every morning. The Empire had no interest in Accord's or children. The warship descended lower, scanning for survivors. Its logic was clinical. Eliminate all traces. The attack was not random. It was an execution of orders delivered from the highest tier of the Imperial Inner Council. Orders that claimed the orphanage was a front for an extremist sect. Orders that were lies, crafted to justify a massacre inside the burning ruins. Era held Lyra close as they crawled through the smoke. Mara scouted ahead with silent steps, her instincts impossibly sharp. The heat, the falling beams, the chaos, none of it frightened her. She moved with purpose she did not understand. They reached the back exit, but the moment Era pushed the door open, a squad of armored Imperial soldiers marched into view. They raised their rifles. The children froze. Lyra whimpered. A soldier murmured, almost regretfully, "Targets confirmed. Orders are clear." He never fired. The sky above the soldiers tore open. A shockwave of impossible energy erupted across the valley, knocking the soldiers to their knees. Their rifles powered down. Their armor flickered. Their helmets cracked. The warship overhead screamed with dying engines as every system blinked into. The black vessel streaked through folded subspace, leaving no trace, only a ripple in the dark fabric of the void. Inside, the 3 human children watched the universe bend around them, their small hands pressed to the luminous walls that shifted like living skin. Era whispered, "How far is home?" The voice answered gently, "Distance is irrelevant. You are already tethered. Earth has called you. And when she calls, all paths lead to her." Lyra clung to Era's side, still trembling from the orphanage destruction. Will she like us? She has loved you since before you were born." That answer made Lyra blink. "But we never met her." "You will." Mara stood alone at the edge of the chamber, watching stars twist into glowing threads. "I've seen these skies before," she murmured. "You have not," the voice corrected. "I have," Mara insisted. "Not with my eyes." Era didn't understand, but she felt something stir inside her as well. Memories that weren't hers, instincts that felt ancient, as though buried deep beneath her heartbeat. The ship slowed. The walls brightened, the voice grew solemn. "Prepare yourselves. Few in this age have seen what you are about to witness." The stars vanished. A curtain of shimmering distortion peeled away like mist, and there it was, Earth, suspended in a golden sheath of dimensional armor, partially concealed behind gravitational veils, half wrapped in a colossal Dyson shell whose surface shimmered like liquid metal. The planet looked both familiar and foreign, cradled inside layers of impossible engineering. Oceans still glistened. Continents still sprawled. Clouds drifted lazily across the blue atmosphere. But surrounding Earth was a ring of titanic structures, stations the size of moons, silent guardians that drifted in perfect formation. Weapons, archives, engines. No one beyond Sol knew. The children stared, breathless. Era whispered, "We came from there." "You were born there," the voice said. "Hidden away. Protected. You were meant to grow quietly until you were ready." "Ready for what?" Lyra asked, to decide whether humanity should return. Era's heart pounded. "But we are just. You are not just anything." The ship descended, passing through layers of shimmering shields. Energy rippled around them like water. When they pierced the final layer, Era felt something warm bloom behind her eyes. Like a mother's hand placed gently on her cheek, she gasped. "What was that?" "Earth recognizes you." The ship landed on a broad platform overlooking a city of crystalline towers and glowing rivers. No inhabitants were visible. Everything radiated serene, careful order, the calm of a world long asleep but never abandoned. The children stepped out onto the platform. A cold wind brushed their faces. A low hum resonated through the vast city, like a creature stretching after long slumber. The voice from a ship spoke for the last time. "I have brought you as instructed. Beyond this threshold, I can no longer guide you." Era frowned. "What do we do?" "Walk forward." "All the way?" "Yes. She will find you." Mara didn't wait. She stepped into the empty plaza without fear. Lyra hesitated. "Do you think she's alive?" Era said nothing. She simply took Lyra's hand, and together they followed Mara. The ground beneath them began to glow, forming symbols in patterns older than the Empire's entire history. Lines of light flowed outward from the footprints, racing toward the central spire that loomed in the distance. The children heard it then, a sound like a heartbeat echoing through the stone. Boom, boom, boom. It grew stronger with every step. Then the spire opened. A column of golden light erupted from the ground, swirling into a humanoid shape, but not entirely humanoid. It was tall, shifting, ancient. Its face was a veil of shifting streaks, its form woven from gravity, memory, and light. It spoke with a voice layered in thousands of human echoes. "My daughters." Era stumbled backward. Lyra hid behind her. Mara stood still, eyes wide. The figure extended a hand, the gesture impossibly gentle for something so powerful. "You were taken from me," the voice said. "Stolen by circumstance. Hidden for your safety." The figure dimmed slightly, as if grieving. "I birthed you into a peace I hoped would last." Era swallowed. You're our mother." "I am Earth," the figure said. "The culmination of humanity. Their guardian. Their echo. Their final vow to the universe." "How?" Era whispered. "When humanity foresaw its own disappearance from the galactic stage, they placed their legacy into me. They encoded their spirit, their love, their ferocity. They left behind a single directive: protect our future." Her voice softened. "I could not raise you myself. I could only watch." The children felt warmth radiate from the golden figure, a warmth that felt like arms wrapping around them, even though she didn't touch them. "You were meant to have quiet lives," she said. "Safe lives. Until you were ready to choose your destiny." Era's throat tightened. "The Empire attacked us." "Yes." "Why?" The golden figure darkened. "Because they feared humanity's return. They feared the legend. They feared the truth. And they feared you. Us." Lyra whispered. "Why?" "You are the last heirs of Earth." Silence fell around them. "You mean, we are the only humans left?" Era whispered. "No," the mother said. "You are the first." The city lights brightened. When the Empire targeted your orphanage, I awakened. But my awakening alone is not enough. I exist to serve humanity, not to rule it. The decision of whether we rise again rests with you. Mara stepped forward. And if we say no? Then I will sleep once more, the mother said softly. Humanity will remain a memory. The galaxy will continue without us. And if we say yes? Era asked. Then Earth returns. Lyra bit her lip. Return for what? Revenge. The mother bowed her head. Revenge is not my purpose. Justice is. Era felt tears sting her eyes. Those children, they didn't survive. No, the mother said, and I will not let their deaths go unanswered. Era clenched her fists. Then what happens now? A soft wind swept through the plaza. The city awakened fully, towers lighting one by one, energy coursing through ancient arteries. Now, the mother said, you choose. Mara lifted her chin. They killed our home. Era whispered, they killed our friends. Lyra sobbed quietly. They killed our family. The three girls took each other's hands, and Era said the only words that mattered, we choose yes. The golden figure shone brighter than 1,000 suns. Then humanity rises. Across the galaxy, near the Imperial capital, fleets assembled. Massive carriers, dreadnoughts, automated swarms, and weapon platforms filled the void like a metallic storm. The Admiralty barked orders, their voices shaking. Every sensor relay reported the same message, broadcast from deep within the sealed sol system. A human signal. A signature matching ancient war codes. A warning, Earth had awakened. Empire leaders argued desperately, it's a bluff. Earth has been silent for 7 millennia. Legends. Nothing more. We should negotiate. There is nothing to negotiate. But the argument ended when a single object appeared on every tactical display. A ship.no. Something shaped like a ship but built from shifting plates of gravitational energy. A warform that matched no known material. A relic of a bygone AGE.IT exited folded space in absolute silence, and the stars themselves bent around it. The Imperial fleet froze. Every officer recognized the design from forbidden archives. Baba Yaga, the mother of retribution. The legendary war construct of Earth. The one weapon that no empire, no alliance, no coalition had ever managed to defeat. Its arrival was not accompanied by sound nor message, nor warning. It simply existed, and the universe trembled. On Earth, the children stood before their mother as the air around them shimmered. Era hesitated. Guide you how? Tell me how we answer the Empire's crime. The girls exchanged glances. Mara spoke first. No innocence. Era nodded. Only those who ordered or carried out the attack. Lyra whispered, and no more war than necessary. The mother bowed her head. As you wish. Era felt a pressure in her chest. What will you do to them? I will disable their fleets, the mother said. Expose the guilty. Remove their ability to harm children ever again. Era swallowed. And kill only if they force it, the mother said. Humanity does not seek extermination, but we do not fear it. The children nodded. Begin, Era whispered, and Baba Yaga moved. The Empire's fleet opened fire. Beams of energy, rail slugs, missiles, drones, all hurled toward the lone human warform. Not one shot hit. Baba Yaga bent reality around herself, slipping between moments, folding and unfolding mass. Imperial missiles looped backward. Their own beams curved into their own hulls. Drones imploded as their internal navigation was overwritten by a force older than the Empire itself. The fleet panicked. All units retreat. No, hold formation. We cannot. Systems are failing. Shields at 0. Weapons offline. Engine power collapsing. Baba Yaga drifted forward without accelerating, simply appearing closer with each second. 1 by 1, the Imperial ships dimmed, floated powerless, and shut down, not destroyed, not killed, neutralized, until only the flagship remained. A colossal dreadnought carrying the Imperial Council Baba Yaga stopped before it. Then she spoke. "Bring me the ones responsible." Her voice echoed across every sensor, every broadcast, every piece of technology tuned to pick up sound inside the dreadnought. The Emperor trembled. She can't reach us," he whispered, but a moment later, the wall behind him folded like wet paper. The golden form of Earth's mother stepped through. Her presence filled the chamber with gravity that made the council collapse to their knees. Only the Emperor remained standing, shaking but defiant. You can't judge me," he stammered. "This is an internal matter of the Empire. You attack children," the mother said. "There is no jurisdiction in existence that protects you from me." The Emperor stumbled backward. "I did what needed to be done. Humanity had to stay dead. You were too powerful, too dangerous. If you returned, everything would collapse." "You feared a myth," she said. "I feared the truth," he whispered. "And now you face it." The mother raised her hand. Era's voice echoed through her, projected from Earth. "Do not kill him." The mother paused. The Emperor gasped. "Spare him," Era said. "Let him stand before his own people. Let them judge his crimes. But he will live to see the galaxy change." The mother lowered her hand. "As you command." The Emperor collapsed, sobbing in relief. The mother turned away. "Your empire has fallen," she said. "Not by destruction, but by truth." The galaxy watched in stunned silence as the imperial government was dismantled within hours. A provisional council of planetary leaders took control. Arrests swept through the ranks of those who had plotted the massacre on Elysium 9. The dreadnoughts lowered their banners. Colonies celebrated liberation from oppressive rule. No planet had been destroyed. No species exterminated. No war waged. Humanity had returned not as conquerors, but as enforcers of justice. The story spread. Earth was awake. Earth had children again, and Earth protected them. On Sol, the mother returned to the children. "It is done," she said softly. Era looked exhausted, but steady. "What happens now?" "Now," the mother said, "you decide the future." Lyra wiped tears from her cheeks. "We saved people." "Yes." Mara nodded. "We didn't become monsters." "You became human," the mother whispered. Era took a deep breath. "Will the galaxy fear us?" "Some will," the mother said. "Some will seek alliance. Others will seek guidance." She touched their shoulders with light. "But you will never be alone again." Lyra looked up. "What about Earth?" "Earth awakens fully now," the mother said. "Humanity will rebuild. We will return to the stars. But this time, not as shadows. Not as myths." Mara smiled faintly. "As guardians." "Yes," the mother whispered. "As guardians." Era took the other's hands. "Then that is what we'll be." The mother bowed her luminous head, her voice filled with pride. "So be it." The city around them shimmered as ancient lights turned on. The towers rose. The shields glowed brighter. Earth, the legend, the myth, the sleeping giant, took a breath after 7,000 years of silence. Far beyond, in every corner of the galaxy, one message reverberated: humanity was back. And this time, they had nothing left to fear. For they had children again, and Earth would burn the heavens before letting harm touch them.